Being barefoot isn't just some woo-woo hippie nonsense trend that you see. It's one of the most powerful changes you can make to your body. Literally a simple shift, one thing that you have to do that will literally transform the health of your body. You're gonna unlock new muscles, improve your balance, improve your posture, improve your strength, all that stuff. So in this video I want to go over the exact benefits of ditching modern footwear, being more barefoot, and why it will literally change your life for the better. So make sure you stick around to the end, where I'm going to be going over literally these simple actionable steps that you need to take to see this change in your health. The first improvement of ditching your modern footwear, being more barefoot, is just that you improve your posture because you get a more natural alignment. So I'm gonna put up a picture, but basically when you're wearing just modern shoes that have this elevated heel, you're just causing a bunch of problems for your posture. So this elevated heel, just destroys your entire posture by just anteriorly tilting your pelvic floor and then just, cramming in your shoulders, and literally just over time it just makes your posture so much worse, which obviously isn't great for your health, and just overall like attractiveness and all that stuff is so dependent on posture. So when you actually start being more barefoot, or just using barefoot shoes, which I'm going to talk about later, you basically start reversing this because you return to just a more natural position, more natural alignment of your body, which this is how you are made to be. Mother Nature designed your foot this way, so this is basically how you fix your posture. Second benefit of being more barefoot is that you get stronger foot muscles. So basically there was this study done where people switched out normal footwear with barefoot footwear for 6 months for just their daily activities, and they saw a 60% strength increase on average in literally just 6 months, which is pretty insane in my opinion. The reason for this is basically that modern footwear is so stiff and hard, it's not flexible. So it's basically like putting a cast on your feet. You basically restrict the muscles, don't let them do the natural job, then obviously they become weak, more prone to injuries and all that stuff. So when you actually get rid of modern footwear, start just being more barefoot, using barefoot shoes, minimal footwear, you allow just your muscles to work properly again, and just regain that strength that you've lost. Third benefit is that you get a more natural toe splay. I'm gonna put up a picture again, but basically wearing modern shoes constricts your toes' natural position, which you can see here, which is just really unhealthy. It results in these bunions, which can be really painful and require surgery and all this stuff. It can make your balance worse and just result in a loss of foot strength, which is basically what we just covered. When you wear these constricting, stiff, hard shoes, you don't let your foot do its natural job. But when you actually start being more barefoot, you return to nature, you get all these benefits. You don't get bunions, you get just this overall more, look at this picture, you can see just of a businessman versus a barefoot runner. Who do you think has the most balance, stability in their everyday activities? Obviously it's the barefoot runner. Obviously this is something that takes time, and it's not something you're gonna see if you just start being more barefoot in just a month or something like that. But over a couple years, your feet are gonna return to their natural, or your toes are gonna return to their natural position, which is just gonna be really beneficial for your overall health. Fourth benefit is that being barefoot actually activates your sensory points on your foot. So this again sounds like some woo-woo stuff, all this acupuncture, and all these points are connected to different parts of your body and all that stuff. But you can believe whatever you want. Literally Nike is going into this. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But you basically your feet have tons of sensory points. Again, I'm going to put up a picture that connect to the rest of your body, which literally promotes circulation, stimulation, just of the brain and body by just getting this connection going, and just overall health. So every time it just improves your balance, proprioception, this feeling of where you are without using your vision, if that makes sense. So when you're barefoot, you can feel every little thing on the ground. So when you step on a stone or rock or a twig or something like that, it gives you input signals that are important for your balance. Normal modern footwear, they have these giant soles, just this foam is walking on a cloud. Is totally unnatural. You don't get no input signal, which is just horrible for your health. And even Nike is trying to get into making shoes that give you a better connection to the ground. So they're literally making this stuff with all these balls on the bottom. Again, I'm gonna put up a picture, but literally you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on Nike's new shoe. You can just start being more barefoot, going on natural terrain, and you're gonna send all the right signals to your brain and body. The fifth benefit of being more barefoot is just the grounding aspect of it. So when you go barefoot, you allow electrons to flow freely between you and the earth, which is gonna help decrease inflammation, improve blood pressure, improve your circadian rhythm and your sleep, and faster wound healing. There's so many benefits to grounding that you can look up yourself. Slowly there's more and more studies coming out on grounding. But basically how this works, for example with the blood flow, is basically, the more electrons you get, the more like negatively charged your like blood cells will be, so they repel each other more easily, which is then gonna prevent them from just clumping up, which is how it improves your blood viscosity and blood flow and all that stuff, which is really important for health, so you don't get a stroke or something like that. So yeah, like start grounding more. Take off your shoes, go in the garden, just whatever, go on like grass, dirt, water, whatever, just stand there and then just ground, feel the Mother Nature connecting to you, all that stuff, what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like grounding is literally great. You can't get that by just wearing all this plastic modern footwear. It should get rid of your footwear, start grounding now. So let's get to like the actionable steps, and basically it's really freaking simple. Like stop wearing normal modern footwear, like get rid of your normal footwear, be barefoot as much as you can. So inside, I used to be one of those that would like wear like indoor shoes, kind of like those like flip-flops that you wear. But again, like it's horrible. Like start being barefoot as much as you can, so your feet or like your toes can adapt to just their natural position. And also like when you're outside, all that stuff, try to do it. Obviously, like if you're going in public, it's kind of hard to just be barefoot, but that is when I would actually recommend getting some barefoot shoes. Actually, 2 seconds, let me just go get some of mine so you can see. So these are some of the shoes that I got. It's kind of hard to see, but like I got, these are like my everyday shoes from White Footwear. You can see just how wide they are. Obviously, like none of these shoes are like the best looking, so if you're going out, you have to like look fancy and all that stuff. I don't wear these as well, like you don't have to, but just just start increasing the amount of time that you're either barefoot or in barefoot shoes. So these are like from Vivo Barefoot. They're like hiking boots. These are the best hiking boots. That's kind of off topic, but like these are so great, made with like leather and all that stuff. Great traction when you're walking. Like they're great. They feel so comfortable. And these are just like a great everyday shoe. I also got some other ones from Vivo Barefoot. Gonna put up a picture, but basically just, it doesn't matter which ones you get the ones that you like the most, and then just start wearing them instead of your normal shoes. But obviously, like the best thing is to be like just completely barefoot as much of the time as you can. And yeah, that's basically it. Like it's pretty simple. Stop wearing modern shoes, start being barefoot. That's literally what you have to do to like fix your health. You know what they say, like a tree is only as strong as its roots. So like fix your foot health, correlate with just like, what do you say, like it's gonna like flow into like the rest of your, that doesn't make any sense, but like you get what I'm trying to say. Like it's really important to have strong, healthy feet, and you get that by just doing what nature intended, which is just being barefoot as much as possible. So yeah, that was basically all I had in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. Leave a comment, like if you have a suggestion, question, whatever. I'll get back to you, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.